Tonight's the night, and you know what? People came out, man. They showed up.
It's definitely overwhelming and surprising that you know, we got this response and turnout out here.
And all the promotion and all the networking that we've been doing up until this point really paid off.
We definitely worked hard for this, linking up with different cats from Berlin in advance through friends, and then also through the social networks, and really promoting the film. And this is not by accident, this is by design.
We met these guys through Facebook. This is a product of Facebook right here, this relationship, Facebook.
That's why it's amazing that y'all here, because I want people to know that if you're looking for something, you go find it, and then people could connect with each other and big things could happen. This all the way from, you know, Brownsville to Berlin. We, you know, New York, America, and we out here and y'all here. So it's an international connection. There you go.
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm living in Berlin, doing camera, and also work as a freelancer on different levels like music, production, interdisciplinary work, media work. And that's how it comes. We founded a small company which is quite experienced in filmmaking here in Berlin, in Germany, but also internationally. It's called Production Team Berlin.
Yo, look, Jaeger. And what is this? Sternbach, right? Sternbach. Yo, cut us a check. Cut us a check, right? Look, this is what we do. Cut us a check, let us come back out to Germany, let my homeboys get on the mic, let them rap, right? Look, so the movie, right? Then we're gonna let them all go in, concert, right? And then y'all cut the check, man, make it happen.
If you get a glimpse of the imagery, it kind of contradicts the message. So you get one perception of this, and then when you see the film, then your whole perception has changed.
Okay, that's nice. So you,
it's a spin. This is
there's a 360. Twist in it.
Oh, 360. 360.
Number one goal is just to see how people respond to the film. You know, feel the energy, see where people are with it, seeing if they understand it. You know, this is the first time that it's being tested overseas, especially for people whose first language is not English.
Und zuerst, ich muss zugeben, I have to admit, ich muss zugeben, dass mein Englisch manchmal nicht ganz ausreicht, um alles zu verstehen, aber ich habe festgestellt, dass es solche Situationen wie in dem Film auch in anderen Gegenden.
Aber ich denke, viele Jugendliche hier mit Migrationshintergrund gerade können sich sehr gut identifizieren mit eurem Film, weil auch diese Jugendlichen haben keine Perspektiven, sehen keine Zukunft für sich, werden hier nur geduldet oftmals und können deshalb ist es ihnen im Grunde egal, was mit ihnen in der Zukunft passiert.
The festival director, Professor Griffin, he approached us and said, you know, I got this brilliant idea that maybe we could, you know, after the screening, instead of doing a Q&A session, which is normally done after the screening, he said, well, let's take it upstairs into the library where, you know, we'll be a little bit more intimate. You know, to be honest, I was a little skeptical about it because we was running the risk of losing the audience going from the theater to the library, but looking back at it, it turned out pretty good, and I'm glad that we did it. So, to the professor, it's a great idea.
Well, first of all, thank you very much for coming and attending the 25th Black International Cinema, and we really appreciate your being here this evening to see the premiere of their film. And now what we'd like to do is to question and answer session, but really to begin with, to ask them why they made the film and what that film was about and how representative it is of different parts of America?
Just for people to attend this Q&A after hours, I mean, it just showed us that they really appreciated the film.
Well, let's talk about what it was, what it took to make that film, and why you chose that subject matter.
Well, first of all, it was a struggle even trying to produce the movie and make it. Just that neighborhood, you know, most of the film was shot in that neighborhood, and it was a lot going against us to do it. We didn't have any real budget or money to make the movie. We came out of pocket and made it. We had to deal with the police in the neighborhood being able to shoot there without permission. But we made it because we were inspired to, you know, by the neighborhood to do it, and we felt like there was a lot to be said that wasn't said in other films, and there was a lot of stories that weren't told, and we felt like this was the story that needed to be told, and it had to be told this way, and it could only be told this way through us.
How do you think the people that were in the film, and maybe the community, feels about the fact that perhaps you were telling secrets, that you were bringing a side of the community or the hood that maybe everybody didn't want known? How did you, how do you think they feel about it, and how did you convince them to tell those secrets to the world? Because you certainly have brought it to the world.
Sometimes secrets have to be exposed in order for us to move on, you know. So if you're hiding, if you have a secret and you're safe within that secret, there's nothing else to do. So sometimes you have to expose secrets in order to take it to another level. And how we were able to get people to expose themselves was because we are that. Everything you saw in those people, you see in us. We are representatives of that. And the reason why we chose to even have that platform is because we come from there. That's our neighborhood. And we don't feel like we show people in a negative way. We just put a mirror up to what we see.
We always take pride in the Q&A sessions because it gives us the opportunity to intimately connect with our audience, speaking directly to them, and maybe even communicating some ideas that was in the movie that may have never came across.
So what we wanted to do was show that there's talent in the community and that we are a well of resources, because that's what it takes to make this film. This film was not supposed to be made. But the film is a microcosm of not only America, we're finding out of the international community. See, because our intent was just to try to heal and show our own neighborhood what's going on. But as we made the movie and as we start putting it out to the world, we started realizing that they have a hood in Berlin. It's someplace here that is the same as where we come from.
I feel really high right now, like on life.
Our intent was only to create dialogue. All we want to do is get people talking.
Create conversation, open up dialogue between parents and kids, between teachers and students, between police officers and citizens, you know, and so far it's been successful on many different levels.
I just wanted to say that I've never seen a movie like that. It was absolutely real. It's like my homeboy said when he saw Full Metal Jacket and he was in the Marines, he goes, "No, Angel, that was the only movie I ever seen that I got the boot camp experience, but this was the only movie I ever seen that got the hood down pat. Nothing can top it. I mean, the other stories can come close, right? But that was it. I know, that was it."
A lot of similarities, you know, around the whole world with that movie. You know, I mean, you know, any country you go to, any part of the world, there's those conflicts which can start in a small community and branch out into you know, political global wars. And and it's oppression. At the end of the day, it's oppression.
The person Eva the Diva.
You want her number?
I think that she's a kind of like a role model for the whole movie to show broken dreams. Is that right? She's not living the dream, she's dreaming the life.
Again, you know, it just amazes us how much they understand the movie, given that it's just, I American culture.
And I don't know how much is the part between reality in this movie and how much is the part of fiction. I think it's 85 to 15.
He had a very important story in terms of when he was. I think it was the uncle was telling the young boy, this is entertainment. This is not real. He's, danger ain't killing nobody. This is just a role you're playing. And I think her story really personifies that. This, what you think is happening here is not the story,
And it's not only a question, and I think that perhaps is the answer, that's a part of the equation that has to be talked about. It's not only the question that the people have constantly been under pressure, that's true, but if they can see a way out other than strapping the belt on, then perhaps that alleviates that situation. That's what, of course, to some extent, Barack Obama is trying to deal with. With the issue of Kreuzberg and Neukölln and areas like that, which you're not familiar with, no, they're not the same as that, but they are working class areas. And there's the mixture of people from different backgrounds that would be very interesting, I think, for them to see and also for them to bring a return to the United States with. But there are the mixture of people and people struggling to get ahead, the same way as they are in your film.
They understood the movement and they respected it.
When you see, particularly the men, when you talked about them with their pose, their aggressive and brusque and behavior, what is the relationship between that behavior, which probably is an exterior, to the fact that they feel that there's a lack of hope or no way out? What is it they're trying to prove with that sort of conduct, in your opinion?
I mean, it's the same thing we trying to prove, is that we relevant, People said that this movie would not be nothing, it's local, it's this, nobody want to see no niggas talking this and that, and we here, we in Germany, we in Berlin with y'all, and we love y'all, you know what I'm saying? We appreciate y'all just for even sitting here, and that's the same thing I think they fighting for, is that, like, yo, I'm something, I'm somebody, like, I'm relevant. And that's our goal, is to show that, not only our movie, but just independent filmmaking in general is relevant. We got the attention of the people, and something just amazing happened. It's like some type of spiritual force just came over me and just felt mad connected to the moment. Our mission is, to lead by example, to show that, regardless, like, you don't have to have no funds. We got here on t-shirts. If you see this t-shirt we rocking, we got here on this. Like, we have no money. And I'm not embarrassed to say that, because we here. You know what I mean? So we got here on t-shirts, we got here on ingenuity. Of course, we got here because it was a vehicle to be here, which is the festival, and then it just take creativity, motivation, and then contacts. A lot of this happened through internet. So it's taking what's available and making it work for you.
This really was a good experience, and we've done a lot of screenings, we've done a lot of Q&As, but this was very different and very special. So we want to thank y'all for sharing this with us.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all. Like our flight was canceled, which is not really good.
Canceled. And then on top of that, there was no more flights going out for the day. That means that we had to stay a whole another night here. I love Berlin and everything, but we just need to get back home.